everyone, I'm Ace of Clay and welcome to another sculpting video. If you're new here, I'm a sculptor and every week I make a new sculpture. Today I'm doing a subscriber request. This one goes back all the way to when I first started my channel. You guys have been asking me to make a Xenomorph and I finally did it. This is after like 70,000 requests, I swear. This was a really fun project. There is so much detail on this guy. I think you're really going to enjoy it. I'm going to be explaining the entire process from start to finish, so watch the whole thing so you can see this guy come to life. And really quick, before we get started, I have a new holographic print in the shop. This is available right now at aceofclay.com, link in the description box below. It features all the mutants, including the Collectrix, up at the top, so grab it before it's gone. I will not be restocking this. And another thing, I just found one more seamstress plush, so if anybody wants her, she's available now. She was hidden in my stock room and it's literally the last one, so whoever wants her, first come first serve, aceofclay.com. And now without further ado, let's sculpt a Xenomorph. All right, let's make this thing. Gonna start with the armature, just shaping out the left side there, and then I mirrored it to create the right, and now we're gonna attach both pieces together with some more wire. And then of course I got my wooden plaque back there with the holes drilled for the legs. Now because this guy has such a huge head, I made another piece of armature for that, just to support it, and I'm attaching that with some more wire as well. And now it's time to bulk everything out, so I'm going to add some bacon bond to the surface and then start shaping out everything with my Super Sculpey Ultralight. This step can also be done with aluminum foil. I just prefer Ultralight because it gives me more control. Now let's bulk out the head and of course add some more bacon bond because Ultralight doesn't want to stick to just raw aluminum wire. Get that nice banana shaped head figured out. Now it's time for the oven. And once he's baked and cooled down, let's start covering everything in clay and start shaping out the legs and get this guy going. Now I'm going to be creating one of the more recent Xenomorph designs that's a bit more organic than the ones from the 90s that were pretty mechanical looking. The dimensions on this guy are more otherworldly than the older versions as well, which I think looks really cool. It just doesn't look like a guy in a suit, you know what I mean? But of course it still holds true to that classic Xenomorph design. Now aside from getting the dimensions right, the texture on this thing is really what's going to sell it. That's what's going to light up when we paint it and really bring the design to life. So I want to make sure I don't skimp on any texture whatsoever. The first thing that I want to hash out is the rib cage. I just want to use this ball stylus here to create the negative space in between each of the ribs, carving it out from the shape that I've already created. This will maintain the size that I have and of course give the look of ribs. Instead of adding, more clay to this and making it bigger, I'm just carving out using subtractive sculpting to create those. Now it's time for some little worm-like details, little thin snakes of clay. Get those stuck on and blended in and work on that neck. Now in creating this, I wanted to put the larger textures in first. For example, like all the big divots and sunken areas of the abdomen with my larger ball stylus, and then I'm going in with that cone shaper to really refine them and make them into what I want. So block out your shapes first, get the larger pieces done, and then go in with the smaller details. All right, let's just go crazy with that texture until there are no blank spaces left on this thing. All right, now let's work on the face and head. I just want to shape out the face a little bit more by adding some more clay, kind of create that lower jawline, and then we can start going in with our details. All right, we're gonna take a quick break from the Xenomorph to talk about our sponsor. Thank you, Neuro, for sponsoring today's video. Neuro Gum and Mints to energize, calm, and focus whenever you need it. Neuro was developed by former athletes training at the highest level, wanting to create clean, balanced energy that can be taken anywhere, anytime. Neuro comes in 3 different formulas. We've got energy and focus, calm and clarity, and health and vitality. With thoughtfully curated ingredients and endless lab testing, you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. It provides a clean burst of energy without the jitters or crashing from coffee or energy drinks. If you're like me, you are constantly getting notifications and distractions, keeping you from getting things done. Or you're feeling sluggish and unable to stay focused for more than a few minutes at a time. Your thoughts are scattered and you're having trouble retaining information or staying alert. This is where Neuro can help. Neuro Gum and Mints were made to solve these problems. It will help you stay energized, focused, and on task. So join me and the other 500,000 people using Neuro and get in a better state of mind. Go to tryneurogum.com/aceofclay to get up to 30% off your order and enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it. Thanks again, Neuro, for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the Xenomorph. Now I'm just going to create a line here to separate the upper part of the head from the lower, and we can start carving out the mouth and everything. All right, once I've got that mouth hollowed out, I'm going to go in and add the teeth, and then we can start creating all of the detail around this. So first, let's pop in the gums, blend those in, and then we're going to stick each tooth on individually. Now once the teeth are on, I'm just going to refine everything with my Explorer tool, and then we can move on to the rest of the face. Alright, once I get these little pieces carved out, I'm going to go in with some smaller tools to start creating a bunch of organic texture. Like I said earlier, the texture on this is what's really going to sell this thing, and it's going to be so satisfying to dry brush later on. Let's get that alien goodness on him. I could have sat here for like a week and added detail to this thing. It was so relaxing to do. I really enjoyed the whole process. Now that the head is at a good point, let's work our way down and finish up those legs. Now for the tail, just going to add some bacon bond to that, and then we're going to make this out of Cosclay because Cosclay stays flexible after it's baked, and I don't have to worry about this breaking, and I can actually reposition it to my liking once this guy's done. Now I'm just going to add these little tube things to his back. I don't know what these are called. They probably have a name, so if you know what these are called, leave it in the comments. Just gonna add a hole first, of course, add some Bacon Bond, and then stick these on. There's actually no wire in these, and it worked great. I saved myself a whole step there, and they still look really good. Wire would have let me like reposition them after it's baked like the tail, but I really don't need to reposition them. Now I'm gonna brush the whole thing with clay softener to remove fingerprints and really smooth them out and get them in the oven. After baking, let's work on the arms, and pre-baking him, of course, made it so I can work on the arms without damaging any of the stuff I already did. So let's get that Cosclay on there. I want the arms to be flexible so I can kind of pose them, and do the same thing to these that we did to the legs. Now for the fun little hands. These were very delicate and spidery. I used floral wire to reinforce the fingers, and I just poked them into the palm like that, and I repeat this process on the other side. It was kind of a pain, but not as much of a pain as I thought it was going to be. So there we go. Hands are done. Now let's add some final touches and bake him one last time. And once he's baked and cooled down, it's time for paint. I'm using Folk Art Matte Black to paint the surface of him just as the base coat because I don't want to waste my more expensive Army Painter paints on that. And now we're just going to dry brush some brown on the surface, hit those details really nice, and then we're also going to repeat this process with some green and purple. Really make those details pop. Now I'm going to take some dark brown wash and add it over the entire surface. And I'm not really going to wipe any of it off because I just want it to sink into the little crevices, and it looks really good. I really enjoyed this process here because it brought the whole thing to life. Everything came full circle, and I like how the sculpture looks. Now that dark brown wash did have a bit of a satin finish, but to just up the shine a little bit here and there, I'm just going in with some Army Painter gloss varnish. Now say it with me. And it's done! My Xenomorph sculpture is complete. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. I think he came out cool. I don't know why I waited so long to make one of these things, but I like how it turned out. I love the Cosclay as always. Look at that super posable tail. Arms are posable. I love the finish. I loved using that Army Painter gloss, and I just had a lot of fun with this. I love detail. The more detail, the better. And this is the perfect project if you like adding detail. All right, again, let me know what you think of it in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching and being here. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ace of Clay. Join my Facebook group, Snakes of Clay, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.